I'm Lauren with Packhacker, and in this video we're taking a detailed look at the Troubadour Goods Apex Everyday Tote, which I've been testing for the last 3 weeks. Let's dive in. What Troubadour Goods does very well is create very sleek, professional looking bags and accessories, and this definitely falls within that category. And there are a few things that make it really great and a few things that aren't so great. So we'll get into all of that in this review. But looking at the material, this is one of the things that I would say is not so great and one of my biggest gripes with this bag. This is made with their Tote fabric, which is like a recycled material. It's lightweight and it is like waterproof, so water does like roll nicely off of this. You know, if you get stuck in like a huge torrential downpour, it's not going to be super great, but it has like kind of almost like a nylon or like a polyester feel to it. It's a little bit crunchy. It's not too bad though, honestly. The feel and like the look of the fabric wasn't my biggest issue. The biggest issue with how much hair and how much lint it picked up, and it was pretty much instant. So we've got like a little string down here. I've already cleaned this off, or rather Ahmad did, he helped me with it, but on the back here is what it looked like before I even did that. Honestly, I would say this even looks a little bit better than the front used to, but I have I have 2 cats, and like I get that cat hair is gonna get all over everything, but it got on this immediately and it stuck to it very, very well. But it's like, okay, you know, I'm kind of used to that, but the biggest thing was with the lint. So lint all around at the top there. I don't even know where that came from, but it showed up and it basically just like never left. So this thing just kind of like got dirty really quickly and it just impacted the aesthetic of it. So I think that was really my biggest thing. It's like, you know, I want a bag that looks really nice, but it got covered in like hair and lint really quickly and dirt. And then it was kind of like, okay, it doesn't look so nice anymore. But in terms of like actual aesthetic and external features and things like that, I think it does look kind of nice. We've got some vegan leather trim here, which looks nice as well. They do say that they are waterproof zippers. They are not waterproof zippers. They're reverse coil, regular like weatherproof zippers. So you cannot submerge this bag, but if you do get like caught in rain or something, you're gonna be perfectly fine. This pocket on the front also has like a fabric welt covering it up to help protect it. Some nice leather zipper pull here. This Troubadour logo on the front is kind of like metal, feels nice and secure. And then on the back, we have another logo here and then a self-locking YKK zipper, which I'll explain in a second. In terms of actually carrying this bag, you only have one option that comes standard with the bag. So we have these vegan leather, like similar how this is a vegan leather trim. These are vegan leather tote handles. They have no padding or anything in them, so they're kind of like flat on the edges here, and then up top is just where you actually grip them. They're not overly comfortable. Like when this thing was really completely full, I didn't love carrying it by the totes. So what I would do is I would kind of like, I'll show you what it looks like in a second, but I would kind of put it on like in the crook of my elbow or put it up on my shoulder. But you can get an add-on strap for this, and there are little D-rings here where you can hook the strap to, and you know, we don't have the strap with us, so we can't really speak to like the comfort of that, but I definitely missed that carry method. So even if you have like a spare strap laying around at home that would look kind of nice with this, I think that would be a really solid option, just because these straps aren't overly long. So if you weren't carrying it right down by your side, there wasn't really a super more comfortable way to carry it. So having it down by my side was largely how I did carry this tote, just because, like I said, unless it was super full, it was pretty comfortable. But when it did get very full, I found myself wanting to add a little bit of extra support. So I would just put it into the crook of my elbow like this, especially if I was carrying like other things in my hands and needed a little bit more like hand mobility or freedom. Or if I, you know, really didn't want to carry it this way either, I would put my shoulder, or like put it up on my shoulder and put my arm completely through. But you can see here, there's really no extra give. Like it's pretty much in my armpit. So if you have like a larger frame, or like depending on your body type and your body shape, you might have a harder time getting your arm into these holes here and having it still be comfortable. I also wasn't able to get my arm through here pretty much anytime I had like a winter jacket on, because it's getting colder here. And so I found myself, if I had a jacket on, I'd have to carry it in the crook of my elbow or down by my side. So like I mentioned, a strap might be a good thing worth considering. If you're finding this video helpful, hit subscribe so we can keep making content to help you travel smarter. In terms of external pockets, we only have 2 options here. I'm gonna start on the back. We have a pocket that zips down at the very, very bottom, or it unzips rather, this self-locking YKK zipper that I mentioned earlier. The self-locking meaning that when this zipper pull is tucked up like that, it's not going to like open the pocket on its own, or the zipper won't open on its own, so that whatever you have in this pocket isn't at risk of falling out if you want to utilize that function. If you unzip it here, it becomes a luggage pass-through. So I did put this bag on a piece of luggage, and actually I think that kind of speaks to like the aesthetic of this bag itself. When I put it on a piece of luggage, I was like, oh, that looks very nice. Like, it looks very professional, and I think that's one of the biggest draws of Troubadour as a brand. But with this pocket here, I mostly just left the zipper open because I didn't ever find myself like actually using this pocket. But it's very easy to zip and unzip if you want to do it that way. And then here, it's like a magnet closure to keep it from opening and kind of exposing whatever you have inside here. So this is a good spot for like documents or, you know, anything you want quick access to, but I found myself just like largely ignoring it, honestly. And then we have a pocket on the front here. So this is zippered. It's a nice like vegan leather zipper pull. And it also, like I mentioned, has that weather protection here, which actually does block the zipper. So I found myself, especially if I was just going from like car to work to car to home, I would just leave this zippered pocket open because it was protected from the elements and you couldn't really even see that it was open. And so I didn't really like mind the look of that. And then it was just easier to get to my stuff. But if you look in here, there is a key leash for a set of keys, which is a nice, easy clip. I like these because it makes it nice and easy to get your stuff off of there. And then there is a phone pocket. So this is kind of like a mesh, or it's not a mesh material, sorry, like a stretchy material here that it has Troubadour on it, another like little vegan leather accent. And this is like a good size for a phone. You can also put like AirPods or something in here if you want to. And then the rest of the pocket itself goes from here to here and all the way down. So, or all the way down, meaning like basically to the seam. So you have a decent amount of room in here. I also put my wallet in here, and there's a lot of space left over, but it is largely just a dump pocket. I just found it a good spot for the items that I wanted to get to frequently, because if you zip and unzip this main compartment, it can get a little bit tedious and obnoxious, which we'll just talk about now. So I use this for a lot of items that I just wanted to kind of get out of my hands and then have access to really nice and easily throughout the day. Heading into the main compartment, the biggest thing you have to fight here are the handles because they do flap in very naturally. And so I found myself, you know, trying to like hold them out of the way when I was getting access to my stuff. But what you do is you just very easily unzip the main compartment, and then you can look inside and get access to everything that you have in there. Here you can see the carry handles. They will just naturally fall to the center, so you're kind of always going to have to be keeping them or pushing them out of the way, which I didn't love, to be quite honest. I think that it just made it a little bit more difficult to get in all of my stuff in and out of here. With the zipper as well, with this main compartment, this is one of those, like, it has the extra bit of the zipper track that like tucks in, and I found that I pretty much had to bring it out every single time and then tuck it back in, just because it was hard to, once I fully opened up this compartment, to get it back zipped up, unless I was like, you know, doing like all of this crazy configuration just to get it zipping along that track again. So, but I wouldn't blame necessarily this tote design for that. That's a very common thing with totes that have that zipper design with that like extra zipper track. So I wouldn't necessarily fault this bag specifically for that. In terms of storage on the inside here, we have a couple different options. We have this it's a 16.5 liter bag overall, and this back pocket fits a 16-inch laptop. So it's a nice padded pocket. I have a 13-inch in here, and the inside here is kind of like a soft, like almost like a faux suede feeling. So it's very, very soft. The liner's a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit loose, didn't really bother me much. And then we have this neoprene top bit. So this neoprene top bit is designed for like covering your laptop. I'm gonna put my 13-inch back in here. If I have the 13-inch in here, the neoprene doesn't even cover it. So it doesn't even like really do anything for me. For me personally, with a 13-inch laptop, it was kind of useless. If you have a 16-inch, it's going to cut up into the space and it will be covered by that neoprene. But essentially, if you can't zip up this tote, like if it got to a point sometimes where Like I used this for an overnight. I think it was gone for 2 nights and I had like 2 changes of clothes and everything fit in here, but I couldn't zip it up. Then this would protect your device if, you know, it starts raining or something like that. So that's kind of nice. We also have, you can also see I'm kind of fighting. It like collapses a little bit, gets a little bit top heavy. With the inside here, a lot of open space to work with. I just have like a little pouch in here. We also have 2 side pockets. So these side pockets here are really great for a water bottle. You can see I fit a 26, I always forget what this is, 24 ounce. 24 ounce Awala water bottle in here. And these are a little bit on the taller side and it could still zip. So if you have a little bit of a taller water bottle, you might be okay with getting this thing zipped up. But smaller water bottles are gonna be perfectly fine. And that is on both sides here. And it has a little magnetic closure that keeps them tucked out of the way if you don't want to use these pockets. But I also use them for things that weren't a water bottle, like I stuck smaller items in there. We also have this back panel here. In front of the laptop compartment is a panel where you can put like a tablet. I have like a travel mirror in there right now. And then a zippered pocket that's mesh so that you can see what's inside. I didn't find myself using this a ton, but it's a good alternative to like a tech pouch or something like that if you want. And then on the other side here, we have 2 pockets. So I have gloves in one and they go down pretty much down to the bottom. And then I have my AirPods and chapstick in the other. So overall, in terms of like storage on the inside here, you have a lot of options. I would just say like actually being able to visibly see everything on here did get kind of difficult. 1, because of how it slouches down a little bit. 2, because of the carry handles that fall into the center literally at all times. And then 3, because the liner itself is a little bit looser and I just felt like it kind of impacted visibility on the inside. So I would say like from an aesthetic standpoint, this is really where this bag shines. It kind of struggles with the actual organization aspect, but if you're willing to look past that, then this could be a good option for just like kind of a basic carry. So there you have it, the Troubadour Goods Apex Everyday Tote. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel, and we'll see you in the next one.